In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing the Gina Designs Holiday Cheer Card Kit, and then I'm going to make a clean and simple Christmas card. So stick around for that project coming up next.
You are what I'm looking for. I know what I'm looking for.
Alright, so let's dive right into this. First, we got a tube of Gina Designs Connect glue. We've got the project sheet, and we've got a stamp set, a 6x8. This is called A Very Silly Season. And then we have 4 half sheets of Gina Designs Layering Weight white cardstock. And then we have a coordinating die set to this stamp set here that is called Blizzard. And that's also in 6x8 stamp set. And then we also have a coordinating die set for the Very Silly Season. And then finally, we have the Winter Wonderland die set. So I'm going to use a few things out of this kit today to make a beautiful, clean and simple Christmas card. So we'll start with some ink blending. I've got Gina Designs powder blue ink. I have an ink blending brush. And then I have a piece of that cardstock that came in the kit. This piece is cut down to 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and I'm just going to load up my brush with that ink, and I'm just going to put a scrap piece of paper underneath my project, and I'm just going to ink up in the center of this panel. I'm not going to cover the whole thing. I'm not going too heavy. I'm just going to ink up very lightly, just going in circular motion, creating a soft blue backdrop for my card. So I'm kind of going a little bit heavier in the center and then fading that color out. And then I'm going to stop right there. I'm happy with that. I'm going to grab my Winter Wonderland die set, and I've got my Gemini Junior die cutting machine here, and I'm going to pull out a couple of these dies. I'm going to grab the smallest tree, the lamppost, and the snowman. I wasn't sure where I was going with this card. I kind of just created on a whim, and this is what I settled on. So I've got those 3 dies, and I've got these little scraps that I keep in my drawer. Whenever I have extra small pieces of paper, I cut them up into manageable sizes and keep them in a little plastic bin. So here I've got some white little cardstock squares, and I line up those dies onto my cardstock. I'm going to grab some mint tape from scrapbook.com. This is a low tack tape, kind of like post-it note tape. So I'll run those through my die cutting machine, and I'm going to cut out 3 of each image. I want to stack these on top of each other to create some dimension, and I'm just using my little pokey tool to help me get those little small images that are stuck inside of the die. So I'm going to grab this silicone mat here. I like to use this when I'm gluing because I don't want to get glue all over my work surface. So I'm going to pull in that Gina Connect glue. And I've also got some reverse tweezers. And I'm just going to take this glue and just put little dots of glue all over the tree. I'm just making little tiny dots of glue, and if I find that I get too much on it, I kind of just take my finger and tap over any big globs. So it just, this way nothing oozes out the side. So I'll grab my reverse tweezers and just make sure that the die isn't backwards. And then I'm going to pop this little tree on top and use my tweezers to help line everything up. It kind of pinches the center of the die cut and helps kind of get it in place. I'm not the greatest with little small delicate things, so these reverse tweezers and liquid glue really help me to get these pieces all put together. So once I have all of my die cuts glued together, I'm going to need a sentiment. So I pull in the Blizzard stamp set and I grab the little sentiment that says Merry Christmas. And then my husband stopped by my office to point out how cute he thought the little snowman was. It's nice when the people around us support what we love to do. So I'm going to pop this panel into my mini Misty stamping tool, and I'm going to grab that grading and line it up underneath the little blue inked area. So I just want to make sure that my grading is nice and straight, and I'll pick it up with the door of the Misty, and then I'll just double check using the grid lines on my Misty to make sure that my sentiment is fairly straight. So I'm going to grab some VersaFine Onyx Black ink And I'm going to ink up this stamp and make sure I get good coverage. Close the door of the MISTI and gently press. I don't want to distort the words, so I'm just going to gently press to make sure that I get a good transfer of that ink. And then look at that, beautiful. VersaFine Onyx Black ink is my favorite ink for stamping sentiments. It's a perfect impression every single time. So I'm going to mat this panel on a piece of black cardstock to tie everything in together. I think that black cardstock will help everything pop out, and then the sentiment will match it as well. I'm going to add adhesive to this, glue those panels together, and then adhere this down to my card base. And then we're going to grab the die cuts and start adhering everything together. So then I grab these little pieces and kind of figure out where I want things to kind of sit, and I use my sentiment as sort of like a grounding layer so that my little images kind of rest just above it. And I apply some adhesive on those and then pop those little guys onto my card. And I want to make sure that everything is straight and in the spot where I want it to be. And again, I make sure that I tap off any of that excess adhesive because I don't want it to ooze out or be messy or anything. Okay, so once I'm happy with that, the final step for this card is to add some embellishment. I've got some Gina Designs Angel Aura rhinestones, and they're just absolutely beautiful. They have like an iridescent shimmer to them, and they really catch the light very nicely. So I've got them in a little triangle bead tray, and I just pick out a bunch and sort of lay them all around my project, and then I'll use that Connect glue and pop on little beads of adhesive, and then attach the rhinestones to the adhesive. And then that's it. This card's done. So that's going to be it for today's video. Here's a close-up look at our finished card project. All the products that I used in today's video will be linked in the description box down below. So if you do decide to make a purchase, please use my links as it helps support my channel. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend it here with me. I appreciate the support as always. Coming up on screen is a video I think you may enjoy. Have yourself a lovely day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!